Challenging behaviour can be somewhat challenging. So in this video, I'm going to give you a few ideas on how you can directly address that challenging behaviour if you decide that it's appropriate. Enjoy! Okay, first of all, disclaimer. So the advice that I'm about to give about challenging behaviour directly is based primarily on my own experience, as well as little bits of research that I've done here and there. Now, I have tried out all these things, but having said that, your employers and your clients may have a different idea or different approach to how they think is best to approach negative behaviour. So, best advice that I could give is have a chat with someone in authority of your employer or your clients before addressing anything. Having said that, there's context and situations that you might need to apply this advice. So take all of this with a pinch of salt and bear in mind the context of the situation that you're in. Other than that, enjoy. Hi, my name is Niall. I've been an outdoor activity instructor for over a decade now, and welcome to Instructor 101. If you can, try to give a chance for someone to change their behaviours or attitudes first before having to give out a punishment as well. So work off like a warning system as well. That way people have a chance to change and they can go, okay, this person's serious about what it is that they're threatening to do. Again, making sure that this coincides with what you've said as well. But if you give them a get out, then they're more likely to take that. Otherwise, if you just go like straight out and just go, bam, that's it, it's over, like we're gonna have to put this in place. Okay, sometimes that's appropriate, but at the same time, it's stressful. It's not a very pleasant thing to do for you or for the person that you're having to address it with. So try and give a get out first if you can. So an example would be, if you show me that you can manage the safety of the ropes again, then I'll be more than happy for you to join back in. Or, I need you to remain sensible whilst in the archery range. If you keep running around like this, then what we might have to do is I might have to sit you out for part of the next go. Never assume you know the reason why someone is being disruptive or showing negative behaviour. There could be so many reasons for someone acting up, and it's not our place really to be able to fully guess what that reason is. There could be lots of different reasons. It could be a misunderstanding. It could be even the fact that you've miscommunicated something, or you've made it confusing for one person or the whole group to understand. So maybe think about what it is that you might have done as well. Having said that, in the context of that one individual or those couple of people, there's other things that might play into effect. It could just be environmental factors. They could have just had a really rough morning. So there's loads of different things that might cause someone to play up. I remember an example of years and years ago, I was working with a child who had some autistic tendencies, and all he wanted to do was be really, really helpful. What he ended up doing was he ended up crossing a boundary line, which I'd set up or put in place as an expectation. He crossed it, and I had to address that behaviour straight away because it was for safety reasons, and then had to speak to him afterwards. The reason why that kid got really upset, he stormed off, and the group looked after him, and we all managed things really well and kept everyone safe. But the reason why he was really, really annoyed was, the reason that he did that was because he wanted to help. He was trying to be helpful. So that's why he was really upset, because in his mind, he'd just been told off for helping out and trying to help me out. So we can't always assume why people are misbehaving. What we can do is then hopefully try and gain an understanding later on. Take misbehaviour professionally, not personally. This is something that I probably struggled with when I started off my career. When people acted up, it was, yeah, I took it personally. And thankfully that's changed now, but it took me a while to learn. what I needed to recognise was that it wasn't necessarily a personal attack on me, it was probably due to external reasons, although I didn't rule out that I could have been a part of that reason for someone showing that negative behaviour. So I kind of detached myself a little bit and I just understand that if I react, like do a knee-jerk reaction and go, right, that's it, cancel everything, or right, you're never having to go again, or I'm not working with this person anymore, then it doesn't play out too well for you, and it doesn't play out too well for the other person, probably doesn't play out too well for the rest of the group that you're working with. Instead, take a moment just to think about the situation if you can, pause, and then choose how you want to react. E plus R equals O. Events, the event that's happened, choose how you react to create the outcome that you wanted. So that is probably one of the biggest bits of advice that I could give you. And remember, if you struggle to control your emotions, then you're going to struggle to control the behavior of your group. Also remember, you can ask for support. When you're working with clients, there's normally like a party leader. So go have a chat with them. If you're working for another employer, then ask your supervisor or someone in authority that you might need extra assistance because you think that's appropriate for that group. And hopefully, I'd like to think that that employer will be able to provide that extra assistance. It's not a reflection on you. It's not about ego. This is a trap which I definitely fell into as well in the past, almost like trying to avoid asking for help when I needed it. It ended up impacting on the rest of the group and the rest of the session because I was focusing so much attention on one or two individuals, whereas I know that it would have been really helpful to have an extra pair of hands or an extra pair of eyes, and that could have come from the party leader or from my colleagues to help out with that. Again, put ego to one side, which is what I had to do, and then move forward. One last thing that I would consider as well is checking that the individual understands why that behavior or attitude is inappropriate. Sometimes they might not. If you're having a go at someone, then they need to understand the reasons behind that. For the most part, generally for safety reasons, that's why I might have to address certain things. But if they don't understand the reasons behind those things, then they're just going to be thinking that you're being really petty or just having a go at them for no reason. That's not going to be a helpful mindset for them, and it's not going to help them out to change that behavior that you want to see. So what do you think about the stuff that I've just covered? Now, bearing in mind that there is lots of stuff there, and I've probably only just scratched the surface. Humans are incredibly complex things, so I don't claim to know the reasons why everyone is misbehaving for whatever reason. There could be loads and loads of reasons. All this advice is contextual, and like I said, it's based on my own experience and bits of research. Your employers and clients might have a very different idea of what's appropriate and the individual's needs. So make sure you check that first. Having said that, what tip have you found most helpful? What's been most useful? And maybe if there's anything, what do you think might be controversial? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments down below. If this video was useful, please remember to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss out on other future content. The easiest way to subscribe is to click the one-on-one logo by the side of my head, but also feel free to check out my other resources on Instagram and Facebook. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, take care.